So introducing else statement. When a condition for if statement is true, the block of code followed it is following it is executed. What about the condition if the condition is false? Normally nothing would happen. When an else statement, an alternating block of code can be executed. So if the condition is true, if this condition is true, then this is executed, and else this is executed. Combine the if statement into a single if else statement. So if combine it into a single. So if a value is greater than, so value is greater than 5, bigger than 5, so then now else symbols else result equal to, and this should have only one statement it should be an else statement. So if we run the test, introducing else statements. If we have multiple conditions that need to be addressed, you can chain if statements together with else if statements. So if number is greater than 15, return bigger than 15, else if number is less than 5, smaller than 5, else number is between 5 and 15. Convert the logic to use else if. So if the value is greater than 10, greater than 10, if the value is less than 5, smaller than 5. So here what we can do is else if and else. So else like this. Okay. So if value is greater than 10, then 10. If value is less than 5, then smaller than 5. If the then other in all other condition value is between 5 and 10. So these are the conditions. If we run the test, now logical order in if else statements. Order is important in if else if statement. The function is executed from top to bottom, so you will want to be careful of what statement comes first. Take these two functions as an example. Here is the first. So two function takes in x, and if x is less than 1, return less than 1. If x is less than 2, and then it is 2, otherwise it is greater than or equal to 2. And the second just switches the order of the statement. If x is less than 2, less than 2, if x else if x is less than 1, then less than 1. While these two functions look nearly identical, if you pass the number to both of the function, will get different outputs like f0. So 0 is less than 1. So in this condition, this is good. So f will return the string less than 1. Okay, it will return the less than 1, which is the good one, which is the right one, and bar 0, this function will return the string less than 2, because already it is passed in this it has been passed by this if statement, and it terminated the function. So change the order of the logic in the function so that it will return the correct statement in all cases. So if value is less than 10, then less than 10, else if value is less than 5, then the less than 5, else. So order my logic 7. So 7 is less than 10, which is good, I think. Less than 5. If you run the test, should order my logic 4. So if this is okay, so you should always give it by the, so first of all it is 5 in here, the 5, and in here the 10. So if you run the test, so now nothing is working in here. So what is the problem? So order my logic 4 should return the string less than, no, less than 5 in here and less than 10 in here. Now it is good, I think. Okay, now it is good. Chaining if-else statements. If-else statement can be chained together for complex logics. Here is the pseudocode of multiple chained if-else statements. So if condition 1, then statement 1, else if condition 2, statement 2, else if condition 3, statement 3, and we can chain up all the else if statements, and finally we have to use the else statement, else a condition with a statement n. Write chained if else statement to fulfill the following condition. If n is less than 5, return tiny, if 10 small, if 15 medium, if 20 large, if less than equal to 20, we return huge. So these are the conditions. So this is the function. We are passing the 7 in here, return change me. So what it should return, I think it should return nothing. So return, so let's go from here. So if, okay, if, so let's copy this first. Okay, this is the boilerplate. So this is the boilerplate we are copying, and this is good. So if the number is already passed in here, num is less than 5, then return, then what, then copy this and paste in here, return tiny. Similarly, if number is less than, so if number is less than 10, then return small. Similarly, in the other else if statement, if number is less than 15, then return medium. So another as if number is less than 20, return large, and if the number is okay, if the number else, so if it is less than 20, okay, so less than it should not be equal to, so other than that it would else it will return these things. Okay, let's delete this. So this is good. So this is the if statement. So this is the if statement in here, this is the else statement in here, these are the else if. Okay, these are the else if. So this is the good visualization. Okay, you can see in here, if you pass here the 7, then what it will do. So 7 is number less than, it is not less than 5, so it is 10, so it's small, and it will return. So what if we pass in the number 20 in here? So if we pass in number 20 in here, so number is not less than 20, so after skipping from this else if, the final else if, it will goes to the this else. So if you run the test, so test size 20 should return the, oh sorry, in this huge. Okay, so this is the final one, huge. So if you run the test, so now golf code. In the game of the golf, so each hole has a par, meaning the average number of strokes a golfer is expected to make in order to sink the ball in the hole to complete the play. Okay, depending on how far above or below par your strokes are, there is a different nickname. Your function will be passed par and strokes argument. Return the correct string according to the table, which lists the strokes in order of priority top to the bottom. So we have to make this game. Par and stroke will always be numeric and positive. We have numeric and positive. We have added an array of all the names for your convenience. So we have this name. So function goal the par and strokes. So if we pass the 5, so strokes, hole in hole, eagle, birdie, par, boogie. So I think we need we have to get help, get a hint. So only change the code below and ensure that you are editing inside the core function only, and you will have to make return exactly the same. Plus number minus number can be used to increase or decrease the parameter. So here is the solution. So return go home. Strokes is equals to user. So what is the PAR in there? So if the PAR strokes. So strokes are there. So if strokes, so if stroke is equals to 1 holding 1, else if strokes is less than or equal to power minus 1, so 5 minus 1, which is 1, this is the body. So this is a condition in here. So we just need this like this. Like this, everything is good if you run the test. This is good, but we have to see the other solution. So comparing the parameter pair and the struct to return appropriate string values if else if statement is chain is used for flow control. String go home is returned for empty condition where struct is greater than or equal to pair plus 3. Similarly, if we have these names, so we can return names dot zero like this also. Okay, so we have already name, so return what we can return now. So we can return like names, names and 0 like this, names 0. So if you run this test also, it is good because we have the array of these names in here, array of all the names for your funny pages. So we do not have to pass these things in here. So here names 1, okay, eagle. So this is the body shot. So names body. So similarly names, third one is par. So par was the 5, which is good. So names boogie. So boogie in the fourth index of the names array. So similarly names, and in the fifth double boogie, and finally go home. Name 6. So name 6. So if you run the test, it is also good. Now since we have already an array defined in the variable name, so we can take advantages of it. Use it for our return statement using the indexes. Name 0 is the first one. That way if you ever need to change a specific result, you would not need to look for it inside the function. It will be at the beginning in the array. So similarly function using the multiple conditional ternary operator since, so this is using the ternary operator, so everything is same except, so using the multiple ternary operator, so this is the function. So if strokes is equals to return, okay, they are not says. So if return, so return stroke equal to 1, then names, okay, then this first name, other else stroke, else if this else if this, this, else if this, and this is the final else. So this is a ternary operator. We didn't have talked about it. We will let you. So this is the best situation for this now. So if you run the test, so this is good. We can do like this using our already defined array. Now selecting from many option with switch statement. If you have many options to choose from, use the switch statement. Or switch statement tests a value and can have many case statements which defines various possible values. Statements are executed from the first match case value until a break is encountered. Here is the example of the switch statement. So switch, this is the condition lowercase letter. So we pass in this condition. If case is A, the console log A and break. Console if the case is B, console log B and break. Case values are tested with strictly equality. So these are always strictly equality. The break tells JavaScript to stop executing statement. So after each case, you should stop executing statement. If the break is omitted, the next statement will be executed. So if break is not there, so it will console log this, and it will go even if it is not matching, it will go on executing other lines of codes next statement. So write a switch statement which states val and sets answer for the following condition. So one for alpha. So write a switch statement which tells value and sets answer. So answer is this, return answer. So function case in switch value var answer. So what we have to do is switch and like this. Now inside the switch any of the value is given. So if that value is this case of 1, so give the colon sign and set answers for the following questions. So then, so in the case since which one should have the value of the string alpha. So answer equal to should be sets answer equal alpha. So like this. So this is the case 1. So now we have to break that. So similarly case 2 answer equal to beta. So break this statement also. Case 3 answer is equals to gamma. So break this also. Case is now the 4. So answer is equals to delta and break this statement. So these are the cases, 4 cases for this write a switch statement which tells. So this is the switch statement passing this 1 2 in here, so it will answer is alpha. So if you run the test, as the value of a string alpha, You should not use any. You should have at least 3 break statements. At least 3 it is saying, because after that it will be breaking. So if you get the help, get the hint, because I'm little confused in here. So I think case 1 like this. Okay, not the string. So cases value are tested with strict equality. So 1 should be 1. So now this is good, I think. If you run the test, this is good. So let's check. This is the program. So do not see the following condition as the ordered as the origin, but as the value. So solution 1. Case 1 is the return alpha. In this, to ignore that case values are tested strictly with any need of other expression. So like this. So this is the case 1. This is the case 2. This is the case 3. This is the case 4. So case 4 also need a break. Adding or default option is in switch statement. So in switch statement you may not be able to specify all possible values at the case statement. Instead you can add a default statement which will be executed if no matching case statement are found. Think of it like the final else statement in an if else statement chain statements. Okay, the default statement should be at the last. So these are the cases: case 1, case 2, case 3. So if you are not able to specify all the possible cases, so we have to use the default case. So default case is used default case is declared using this default keyword and default statement and the break. So similar to that. So write a switch statement to set answer for the following conditions: so A apple, B bird, C cat, default is stops. So we can do the switch the values. Okay, switch between these passed down values. So this is the full switch statement. So inside of switch statements there are cases. So case is if case is A. So if the case is A, answer should be apple string and should break them. So if the case is B, so it is case sensitive, because this is strictly equal to strictly equivalent. So similarly, case B, answer will be bird and it will break in here. So similarly, case C, answer will be cat and it will break in here. So now this is the default. So default is the reserved keyword, and default statement will be the answer is equals to stuff, and we will break that in also. So this is good. This is the statement. So this is only the default one, other are the cases. So switch off the stop one. A is not defined. So if you run the test, multiple identical options in switch statement. If the break statement is omitted from the switch statement cases, the following case statements are executed until a break is encountered. If you have multiple inputs with the same output, you can represent them in a switch statement like this. So case 1, case 2, case 3, the result is 1 to 3 break. So case 4 will be 4 alone. Okay, if the break statement is omitted from the switch statement case, the following case statements are executed until a break is encountered. So these all cases will be, so we can have the multiple identical options in a switch statement with a single break if we have multiple inputs with the same output. Okay, so we need the same output 1, 2 or 3, but we have the multiple inputs in here, so like that. So cases for 1 to 3 will all produce the same result. I write the switch statement to set answer for the following 1 to 3 low. So how we can do that is copy this switch snippet, paste in here. So make this a tab. So now this is the case 1 and 2 and 3 result will be, so instead of result there is answer will be low, then break, then for the 4, 5 and 6. Okay, 5 and 6 result will be mid and it will break. So similarly for the so similarly in this also something. So now the case 7. Case 7, Control Shift, Control Alt. So case 8 and case 9. So result. So instead of result we have the answer variable, So answer will be now top or the high. H and H. So H high, and we do not need break in here. So but I'm giving this break. So this is good. Now you have the case statement for each number in the range. So we have a case statement for each number in the range. So this is should keep the capital low. Replacing if else change with switch. If you have many options to choose from, a switch statement can be easier to write than many changed if else statement the following. So if value is exactly equal to 1, strictly equal to 1, then answer is A. Else if 2, then B. So can be replaced by these cases. So Bob then Marley. If 42, then the answer if 1, there is number hashtag 199 missed by this much. So you should not use any else statement anywhere in the editor. You should not use if statement anywhere. So copy this now. So you can rewrite this, but I'm copying these things. So if the value, so if the value is, so if the value is Bob, so if the case is Bob, then the answer will be Marley. Then it will break. So similarly, if this is 42, then this will be the answer. So then if this is 1, then there is the number hashtag 1. So we do not need in here default. Now the 99 and missed me about this much. Now the value is 7, 8, 9. Then it is break. Now we do not need this. So this is the break statement. And, okay, return answer also. So if you run the test, this is good. So returning Boolean values from function, you may recall from comparison with the equality operator that all of comparison operator return the Boolean true or false value. Sometimes people use an if-else statement to do comparison like this. Function is equal A and B. If A is exactly equal to B, return true else false. But there is a better way to do this. Since strictly equal to returns true or false, we can return the result of the comparison operator. So by we can return this type boolean values from the function using directly like this also. Fix the function is less to remove if else statement. So is less, so we can directly return a is less than b. So if it is less than, if a is less than b, in which is in this case will return true, so it will return true. So return only patterns of function. So when a return function is reached, the execution of the current function stops and control returns to the calling location. So function my function console log return world console log bye bye. So my from the above will display the string hello in the console and return the string world. The string bye bye will never display in the console because the function exits in the return statement. So this return statement will exit this function in here, but so this bye bye in the console will never display. Modify the function update so that if a or b are less than 0, the function will immediately exit with the value of undefined. Remember that undefined is a keyword, not a string. So modify the function apptest so that if a or b are less than 0, so return method run max power max square root. So let's check the hint. So this is the hint. Now if a and b are less than 0, function exits will be with the value of in other cases. So this is the, so if a is less than 0, so we can do like if a is less than 0, if a or b, okay, or b is less than 0, then we return undefined, which is good. Counting cards. In the casino game blackjack, a player can gain an advantage over the house by keeping track of the relative number of high and low cards remaining in the deck. This is called card counting. So card counting is the black is static to determine whether the player or the dealer has the advantage on the next hand. Okay. Having more high cards remaining in the deck favors the player. Each card is assigned a value according to the table below. When the count is positive, the player should bet high. When the count is 0 or negative, the player should bet low. So count change +1, cards 2, 3, 4 like this, -1 like this. You write a card counting function. So if the condition 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 we count plus count if so check the value of the so this is the code for that. So let me show you. So only inside of this, so similar to this, if the cards the k, so we are passing the cards in here to this function. If the cards are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the count is only changing by 1 and breaking, so it will execute and return from that. So if the case is 10jqka, which is strictly equivalent, then the count will be minus and break. So if count is less than 0, no, if the count is greater than 0, then it will return the bed, otherwise return the count plus whole. Do not reset count with 0 where value is 7, 8, 9. Do not return an array, do not include course. So we do not need the 0 in this. You will write a card to see the card parameter and the card, which can be the number or a string, and an increment or decrement according to the card value. See table. The function would then return a string with the current count and the string bet if the count is positive, or old if the count is 0, or negative. The current count and the player decision better or should be separated by a single space. Example output -3 old 5 bet. Should do not reset count to 0 when value is 7, 8 or 9. Should do not return an array, do not include quotation. So card sequence 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 will return 5 bet. Because card sequence 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 would return 5 of the 5 plus plus counting, and will be, so the count is greater than the 0 and bet. So 7, 8, 9. So we pass in 7, 8, 9. So card sequence 2 of the return will be shown 1 bet. So this is the card game. If you know this game, you will know how this function is working. So Let's moving on to the next topic. So if you're on the test.